Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Soulful Voices Circle Daily Oracle Card Reading. My name is Dawn, for those of you who are new to our daily reading. I was thinking earlier today about the different types of experiences that we may have had individually with happiness, both on an individual level as well as a collective level. And as I've said before, what the energy that we feed out isn't just energy that affects us alone, it affects the people around us, and it affects the collective energy of our society, of our world. That's why when something bad happens to other people someplace else, we experience that on an emotional level because we are empathizing and having compassion for that. And also, those types of experiences dredge up fear that we may have ourselves. And so it becomes a trigger, perhaps, for the fear that we have inside. So, with that in mind, I thought we would ask the question of, well, this is the question. I wrote it down because I thought that would be important. And it's, in order for us to be in alignment with our highest good, what do we need to know today about our experience with happiness? So we could look at this as our collective experience, or we could look at this as our personal experience. And I believe that when the card is pulled, that you'll identify on both levels. So I have faith that the oracle will communicate with us in multiple capacities. So I decided to pull from the Wisdom of Avalon deck. I think we used this one other time, maybe twice, but I think just once. Not to be confused with the other deck, which is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. So that, they both have a woman on them and say wisdom of, so I could see how sometimes that might be easily confusing. So Wisdom of the Avalon, and let's see what the oracle has to say to us today. I've already invoked the circle protection around us, so if you want to just breathe in, breathe out, take a moment to quiet your mind and to connect with the reading. Okay, so I'm shuffling the cards. Wisdom of Avalon. Okay. Let's see what we pull today. So again, to repeat the question, in order to be in alignment with our highest self, what do we need to know about our experience with happiness today? Okay. Cards. This is the card. It is in reverse, and it's focus. Focus number 33 in reverse. Okay, it says, it is time to draw your energies inward. Let go of all things that are superfluous and unnecessary at this time. Focus your attention on the job ahead. Do what is in front of you, no matter how small the task. Clear focus is required. Be mindful to stay in the present. Avoid looking back or too far forward, for it is only in staying in the true present, the now, that the power residing in the sacred journey marker can be used for the benefit of all. Your path is marked with the need to regroup and remind yourself of your goal. Then stay in the present time and do what is directly in front of you. Only one small focused step at a time will place you at your destination. So I know that this card may seem a little confusion, like what does focus have to do with happiness and our experience with happiness? And my reading of this card, based on the question we asked, is that our focus, what we've been seeking in terms of happiness, has not been where we should focus. What the card is saying is that we need to look inward, correct? We need to look inward to find our happiness. That what is on the outside is not necessarily what will make us happy. In fact, it's probably not what will make us happy. There are things that we think we want because this is how we've been taught. We've been socialized into believing that we need things to be happy, when in fact, the things that you need to be happy, you already have. They exist inside. So if we and the idea of us being present, focus on the present, the now. If we're looking back at things that have happened to us in the past, we're seeing a mixed bag of good things and bad things. And oftentimes it's those bad things we reflect on most, and we bring them into our present moment when they don't belong in our present moment, except to the extent that in the moment that you're in, that that is the past activity, the past thing, the past memory is actually facilitating you in understanding and knowing what you need to be doing in that precise moment. Otherwise, these are memories that become triggers for us to forget where we are now in this moment, and they bring us back to a time that may not have been the best for us. So we need to be in the now in order to achieve true happiness, because in the now is in motion, right? It's in motion. It's being defined. And if you're living in the now and not looking at the past, and just like the past, if you're looking to the future too much, and you say, it's not to say that you shouldn't plan for things. You know, if you want to take a trip in the spring, and, you know, in the summer, sure, you want to maybe get your reservations, right? But you don't want to foresee what that is going to be, what that trip will mean for you, or all the calamities that might be surrounded with reconnecting with family members or other people, the emotional triggers that you might experience, because again, that's projecting outward and it's not living in the present moment. With the present moment is actually peaceful, right? The present moment is what is actually happening right now. Like right now, it's not about what happened to you yesterday. It's not about what's going to happen to you tomorrow. It's about our experience together, right? So if we're having a positive experience together, that's what you should focus on, not the experience that triggered you yesterday or the worrying and fear that you're worried about something happening tomorrow. It should be, what am I experiencing in the now? So it's not to say that you won't have difficult now moments. We all do, right? Because everything is in motion. But it is to say that if you're not focused on the now, you're going to miss so many pieces of happiness that are actually right there for you. So that's how I look at the now aspect of it, right? But getting back to the outward look, that is really a huge, huge issue for many of us, because once again, not to be redundant, but or repetitive here, but we were socialized to believe that the things that will make us happy are outside of us, that we cannot be the happy souls that we are unless we have those things, unless we have that education, unless we have that degree, unless we have that perfect job, unless we meet that perfect partner, unless we get married, unless we have a family, right? Unless we acquire massive wealth, right? Those are all things that are outside of us. And until we get those things, we can't be happy. So what happens is you're always chasing after it. When in fact, there's somebody out there with no money, no home even, who can find moments of joy in the now, in the present, because they're not worried about those things on the outside. They're focused on the things that they have now. Right now, I have food. Right now, I have shelter. Right now, I have my loved ones with me and around me, right? So they can be present in that moment. So that is how I believe focus fits in for us here. And I'm going to reread this, okay? It is time to draw your energies inward. Let go of all things that are superfluous and unnecessary at this time. Focus your attention on the job ahead. Do what is in front of you, no matter how small the task. Clear focus is required. Be mindful to stay in the present. Avoid looking back or too far forward. For it is only in staying in the true present, the now, that the power residing in the sacred journey marker can be used for the benefit of all. Your path is marked with the need to regroup and remind yourself of your goal. Then stay in the present time and do what is directly in front of you. Only one small focused step at a time will place you at your destination. So if our goal is to achieve happiness, if that is the task we are focusing on, and I say task because for many of us it is a task to find happiness because we're not used to it. So every day we wake up, right? And if our goal, if our objective is to be happy, then that's what we have to do. We have to take one small thing at a time and focus on what is in front of you. Okay? This is how we bring down the fear by not projecting or regressing. We stay here in the now and we focus and we take one thing at a time. And it is through this experience, this sacred journey that we go through, that we can feel and experience the happiness, right? We're looking within. We need to look within and find out what it is that we truly believe brings us that sense of happiness, that joy. And when we understand that it's no longer something that you've been trying to acquire, but it's something within yourself that you want to express or to nurture, then we can hone in on the beauty of the journey that we are here to experience as souls incarnated on this earth. So I hope that this brings you some peace and some happiness to hear that it's okay, right? Your past is the past. The future is yet to be. So focus today on what you're feeling and what you would like in this moment now. That's where you put your energy. That's where you put your heart. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'm sending you love. I will see you tomorrow.